Okay, next point in defining kids' books. Well, children's books are shorter than adults' books, aren't they? Aren't they? Look at this book. This was one of the best-selling books of the last 5 years in the children's market. How many words in this? I don't know, a few hundred words. And Sam McBatney became rich through this book. And he didn't even draw the pictures. He just wrote a few words. Guess how much I love you? Bigger than the moon, bigger than the sun. You know, I've never been so jealous of a man as I've been of this guy. But some books are longer. Okay, here's Goosebumps. Goosebumps are 20,000 words. The Hobbit was 97,000 words. Harry Potter. Everybody believed that children would not take long books until, of course, the first Harry Potter book came out, which was extremely long, and each subsequent one was longer. So Harry Potter books, towards the end, were over 200,000 words long, i.e. double the length of the average adult book, which is about 120,000 words. Okay, next point. Children's books do not contain adult themes. They are special themes for children. You know, this is true, but exceptions are easy to find. In Tom Sawyer, which is in every kids' book library in schools around the world, you know, do you remember Becky and Tom get stuck in that cave for days and nearly starve to death, and Injun Joe does actually starve to death. So it's full of very adult themes. Racism and rape, as we said before. Rebecca, I mentioned before, about suicide, and it's really about powerlessness and control, that book. BFG is an interesting book. Children's books are plot-driven, not character-driven. There's a major difference. Character doesn't really count in children's books. This is one of the most successful children's books in history. Sophia, the girl there, is one of the worst drawn characters in history. Roald Dahl clearly had no rapport with real children, had never met an 8-year-old. Just dip into any book, any page of this book, and you'll see that Sophia speaks like an adult woman. Oh, how frightful! A large giant is approaching us. This is terrible. He may abscond with us. You know, not a child. Roald Dahl is one of my favourite writers, but he did not know children. Characters, this is an interesting point I want to share with you. If you tell a child a story, I'm going to tell you a story about a girl named Marty Lee, who ended up kissing a boy at midnight. The kids will be this interested, but you take out the names. I want to tell you about a girl who ended up kissing a boy at midnight. They will be so interested. Why? Children's book characters have to be hollow, because children place themselves into that role. A lot of writers spend a lot of time making children's books characters complex, and in fact they shouldn't. That's exactly the wrong thing to do. You should make them into ciphers that the children themselves can step into. Children love wordplay. Here's a poem. I'll give you 10 seconds to look at it and work it out. Okay, it's a conversation. Hey! Hi. Are you busy? Yes. Oh. Too busy for tea? Oh, I am okay for tea. And you two? Yes, I'm okay for tea. And you two? Yes, we are okay for tea too. And you two? I am too busy for tea. I have to stay at the office, you see. Okay, wordplay. Children's story shapes are different. In adult literature, we never repeat anything. In children's literature, we have to repeat everything. Everything gets repeated. There's a magic number 3. If things happen twice, it's not enough. If things happen 4 times, it's too many. Things have to happen 3 times. 3 bowls of porridge, 3 chairs to break, 3 beds to sleep in. Okay, repetitiveness is important. 3 little pigs, what do we have here? Repeat, 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 repeat. Okay, so that's again very different. Repeat and escalation. Children's stories have happy endings, nearly always. This is one of the very few exceptions, Hilaire Belloc, where all the kids burned to death usually. Asian stories, by the way, are very much like this. They tend to involve a lot of death and destruction. Skellig was a wonderful book. It's a rare book where you can't tell whether the main guy, an angel, is a good guy or a bad guy. But in fact, 99% of children's books have a very clear good guy or bad guy. In adult books, we need to have complex characters. In children's books, we don't. The children's books often follow the genre of adults' books. So this is a huge seller. This is basically James Bond in children's shape. Okay, I'll just finish by just going through some of the genres of children's books. Okay, these are TV crossover books. Now this we can see is the adult romance novel, just reshaped for children. School stories, standard genres. Pony stories, standard. Animal stories, fantasy stories, toys coming alive stories. This one is now illegal, thanks to Gollywog there. Magical world stories, farm stories, fairy stories. Most of these are for girls. Ballerina stories. So if you wrote a story about a fairy who was a ballerina who lived on a farm and had a pony, you'd have a guaranteed hit, okay? Most of these genres are for girls. There are a few for boys. How can you tell that's for boys? Snake coming out of a guy's mouth, that's for boys. Axe with blood on, that's for boys. Okay, bestsellers among the boys. Finish off back with this one, because children's stories, of course, have to have this undefinable thing. You can call it charm, if you like. You can call it magic. They have to actually change the reader in some way. Children are impressionable, and you can see a child being transformed by a story, and they have some element of charm. This story I like. It doesn't have any child characters in. It's very short, and yet it's completely transformative for children. So, okay, I'm going to stop there. If anybody has a children's book masterpiece, bring it to my attention as soon as possible. But do not tell me it is for everybody. Thank you.